Good. Well, good evening, members of council, members of management. I'd like to welcome Councillor Lenny Teller, who's joining us via Zoom. I'd also like to welcome the 7 attendees that have logged on via electronic media. Welcome to the Town of Stephenville December 8th meeting 2022. It is 7:08 p.m. and we're going to get things started here. So at this point, I would ask a member of council to move that the agenda be adopted as circulated. Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Elwer. I don't have to scan too much. We got a
Yeah.
limited council tonight. We only have 5 representing council. 4. And we have 2 councilors that are sick. And we have a councilor that's out of town and unable to zoom in. I believe she's maybe traveling. So we have a motion, a seconder, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 2, the approval of the minutes that was circulated by our town clerk. It was the public meeting of council November 17, 2022. I would ask a member of council to move that those minutes be adopted as circulated.
Moved.
Councilor Laura Elward, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Lenny Teller, all in favor.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Are there any matters arising from those minutes?
Not that I could see.
Matters that have come forward, so we'll move on to item number 4. Jennifer, nobody in for proclamations or delegations tonight? Okay. Committee reports. Okay, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our Chair of Finance, Councilor Myra White. You can take it away, 5.1. The floor is yours. And because we're actually connected to the world, I can almost say the world is yours right now.
Well, thank you very much for giving me the world. Yeah. Our Finance Committee met on December the 5th, 2022, and the following items were recommended for council approval. The expense check listing for November 2022, requesting approval for water and sewer wrong one. Requesting approval to pay expense check listing for November 2022 totaling $332,543.80. I so move.
Okay, that's item number 3, moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Elward, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Are you going to kick back to property tax item number 1?
No.
Oh, those 2 we're going to omit. Okay. Got that?
Item number
Yeah,
4, the accounts payable listing for October 2022. Requesting approval to pay accounts payable for October 2022 totaling $688,938.70. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Lenny Teller. I'd just like to identify that was a very high accounts payable. And if we went through the expenditures on that accounts payable, the big ticket item there was marine contracting for Pleasant Avenue Stage 2.
Yeah.
And that's a project where we only pay 80% of the costs. Sorry, 20% of the cost. The province pays 80%. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Financially, that was to happen. So anyways, that usually pushes it up significantly, and that's why it's stood out close to 700,000. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 5 is a request for grant retention program Western Health for the Royal Canadian Legion. Requesting approval to provide a grant in the amount of $15,000 to the Royal Canadian Legion to deliver program benefits for Western Health Retention Program. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Your turn, Lenny.
Second.
Second, Councilor Lindsay. I just want to say that when we rolled out our recruitment program and followed by the retention program for health, there's no doubt on the news recently, the #1 issue in our province was healthcare and family doctors. and the stressors that came with COVID-19 on the healthcare systems and the professionals actually increased the stressors that exist in the healthcare industry. But, you know, the GPs of yesteryear that would have thousands of patients, be on call all night long and covering so much, those days are kind of over because
Yep.
they are managed much more from a work-life balance. And sometimes too, from a recruitment perspective, it may take 2 GPs today to cover what a GP covered 10 years ago. And that's just the nature of the beast. And that's challenging for our province, challenging for our communities. But the great thing, as we roll out this extra 15,000, it's important for us to attract nurses and doctors and specialists, and surgeons, internists, and anesthetists, but it's to retain who we have. So our retention program, I felt, was very important for our professional doctors, nurses, and so forth. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 6, the request for donation to the Christmas Community Cafe. Requesting approval to give a donation in the amount of $500 to the Southwestern Newfoundland Housing Stability Initiative towards the Christmas Community Cafe. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councillor Lori Elwood, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 7 is the request for sponsorship, Arts NL TV show, Home is Where the Art Is. Requesting approval to provide a sponsorship to Home is Where the Art Is 2022 Company Limited in the amount of $7,500 plus HST. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Lenny Taylor, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
Approval to rescind motion 22-332. Request approval to rescind motion 22-332 Arts NL TV show, Home is Where the Art Is, in the amount of $7,500. I so
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councillor Roy Elwood. Just want to clarify the reason why the new motion had to come HST and rescind the previous motion, because the invoice actually was 7,500 plus HST, and we just didn't get that clarity on that, so we had to add the HST on that for payment on that bill. That's a significant cultural arts piece that's happening in Newfoundland and Labrador. It airs on NTV on Sunday, and it gives Steve Bull an opportunity to be showcased as a community where the arts and culture are very important to us. And there's no doubt, we've often said, we're very blessed because we have our Indigenous culture that's probably the most signature in the province when it comes to our Mi'kmaq culture. And secondly is our Acadian French culture. We're the only French-speaking region in the province. Stephen was formerly known as the Acadian Village. And the third is our rich American history, termed as the friendly invasion, and that's part of our tourism structure. So the arts is so important to us. Our long-standing, longest professional theater group in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, going into their 45th season, the Steveville Theatre Festival, is a signature professional theater group in this province. And also recently, the professional stages of Nomad Stages and what they brought to Steveville with professional acting, dancing. They actually had professional dancers from the Ukraine arrived here prior to the conflict in the Ukraine. So, you know, we're very rich, we're very blessed. And as we attract new people to our town and keep young families, a rich, vibrant arts community is as important as having a job. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Late.
Okay, nothing late. No? Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Martin White. Okay, I'm going to turn it over now to our longest standing member of council. I call her Mr. Thomas Roddick Hospital sometimes. For a lot of good reasons.
Yeah,
But I'm going to turn it over to you, Councillor Aylward, for 5.2 Planning and Traffic Committee.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First item is the Planning and Traffic Committee met on December the 5th, 2022, and the following items were recommended for council approval. First item is signage on Minnesota Drive. Samantha LaCosta requests approval to issue a permit to erect a 4 by 6.5 foot business sign along entrance of Minnesota Drive, subject to compliance with all town regulations. Now, is that that's the right size, is it, guys? The second item is 2527 Prince Rupert Drive.
We got to get a motion.
Oh, sorry. I'm way ahead of myself. I'm
Settle down,
in a big hurry to get out.
Okay.
I want to
Moved
see
by
Family Feud.
Councillor, Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Councillor Myra White.
Oh, my. There's only a blurb tonight.
Motion carried. Okay,
And I'm
we go
drinking-
To the next one.
I'm drinking water, by the way. I'm not like Dean Martin. I watched an old program of Dean Martin the other night. Too cute. Anyway, next one. Okay, it's 2527 Prince Rupert Drive. Dave Mooney request approval to issue permit to construct a 50 by 50 foot building and erect signage on the property located at 2527 Prince Rupert Drive to accommodate a potential restaurant business, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Laura Aylward, seconder.
Second.
And by Councillor Lenny Taylor, all in favor?
Aye. Next item
I
is,
have a question.
Okay.
oh,
They say it's a potential restaurant business. So if it doesn't become a restaurant business, they have to come back again to modify?
Well, depending on the nature of the business, it would have to still come back to council if it's not a restaurant. And Service NL,
yeah,
Service NL would actually have different compliance requirements. So if they wanted to open up a propane shop there, it would,
Okay.
you know,
yeah.
We have three. Unanimous?
but
Yes.
for me. So the question
Yes.
was answered,
I
so
was
all in
asking
favor?
for- Yeah, okay. Aye.
Aye.
Question, yeah.
Okay. Next item, 76 Main Street, Ian Stokes Properties Limited. Request approval to issue outline planning permission to subdivide the building into 2 separate spaces located at 76 Main Street, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. And
Okay, that's moved by Councillor Laura Aylward, second.
I so move, yeah.
Second.
Second, Councillor Myra White. So is this the building that he renovated outside? Is this the one?
No.
This is Western College?
Yep, so it's just the upstairs part.
Oh, just the upstairs part, okay. I
Oh,
gotta say though, to Ian Stokes, he did a wonderful job renovating his facilities on Main Street. And
he did.
it's themed, it's aesthetics, and I gotta congratulate him. We've had a lot of great work done on Main Street over the few years with companies doing up their properties, and it just goes to show pride and a lot of opportunity coming for Steve. So I'd like to recognize him for that. Is there anything late for planning?
Not that I know of. I haven't been told, anyway. Say it.
You can ask all
No,
of
you
them.
have to.
Oh, did we call the vote yet? Oh, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I got a check mark there. I guess I
I
checked
think,
it out
I
too
think
quick.
we were all in the same type of air today.
Yeah.
Let's hurry up and get through this thing.
Good thing it wasn't too
I'd
early.
say maybe some of us don't have our Christmas shopping done yet, and it's on our mind, you know what I mean?
Well, no, that's not what's on my mind.
So anything late, Jennifer, Colin? No? Okay, thank you very much for that, Councilor Laura Aylward. No bylaws or regulations today. Any unfinished business?
I don't know for sure. I don't think there is.
Okay, any new business?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay,
Sorry, I missed the planning on Monday. But there was a letter sent to us a while ago about the rats on Gillis Drive. And I'd like to have an update on that, because that letter from the neighbor
yes.
across the street was disgusting note.
If I can update Councillor Aylward, I went up and I talked to both I guess those that provided complaints and municipal enforcement has dropped a letter and just today delivered that letter. You tried to deliver the letter a few times.
Yeah,
They delivered the letter and the feeling and the feedback I got was that there was an intention to be able to clean up the space immediately. So that's in the process right now and that's underway. So we'll check back and monitor
okay.
as we go forward. But it seems like it's in the process of being corrected. And
Well,
we'll continually to monitor that location specifically.
So the person did receive the letter
Yes, today.
and acknowledged the letter, Nat.
She received it by hand, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so she's gotten it. We didn't have to send it by registered post or anything.
Yeah,
Municipal enforcement just delivered a personal.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
That's fine.
say,
And the feedback we had directly, because talked to municipal enforcement, said that she was very, or the owner was very open to being able to correct the situation. Will immediately correct.
So did anyone talk to the neighbor that wrote the letter? Okay. Satisfied.
Absolutely.
And this is the time of the year too for rodents. They're notorious for, they need a place for the winter. And if there's a time that they're gonna try to get into your homes and stuff like that, then actually I caught a couple of mice in my barn the last couple of days. I keep my traps set all the time.
But you
It's
know,
good practice, not to put the traps when they come in, have them there in the event that when they do come in, you can hook them, you know?
but you know, my understanding is they've never had that problem in that area before until that neighbor moved.
Yeah, and you know what?
There.
Untidy yards, wood piles, like I burn wood and I stack wood, but wood piles are notorious for any place that they can hide and get shelter and winterize, and that's the nature of, they're survivalists too in some perspective, but pestilence and they're pests and they're very dangerous to human health. And we have to do everything we can from a animal control perspective to mitigate and keep our neighborhood safe. So I'm glad management is on top of it and will continue to be on top of it. But when any resident has issues, they need to reach out to us so that we can get to the source of the problem, try to mitigate.
Okay, thank you. I'm sad to say that I got an email this evening that the chair of our hospital board, Bryson Wynn, passed away. Yeah, and I don't know, you know, when the area
Bryson
is or
Webb?
anything, because Bryson, Bryson.
Port of Bass, right?
Yeah, well, he's, I think maybe Scotland originally, but he's been in Port of Bass forever. He retired, according to the email today, he retired in 1996. But he's been the chair of the board, I believe, since probably 2017. I've met, you know, Bryson on several occasions because he used to always meet with once a year with the foundations and hospital foundations. So I'd like to, on behalf of the council, give our condolences to his family, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad to hear.
Yeah, and talking about the hospital, for the general public that are listening, our Tree of Love
Monday.
is going to be Monday at 7 o'clock in the Garden of Hope, on the back of the hospital. A lot of people have been calling in and coming in to give the names of the people that they want remembered. And that's good. We're hoping for good weather. We did it last year outside, and because we hadn't had any since COVID. Last one we had was 2019. And of course, we did get a fair number of people that came last year, which was really good, and the weather was perfect. So we're hoping for good weather this year, and all the volunteers are busy getting it set up, and the boys at the hospital are really, accommodating to them, helping them out and stuff like that. So that's on at 7 o'clock, and we hope to see a good turnout, and we'll have the pastors, some of the pastors are going to be there, and ministry, and
What was the date?
the 12th, Monday, yeah, and they'll be singing Christmas carols and stuff like that, so it's,
Are we allowed to take photos while we're there?
yeah,
Okay.
oh, yeah, yeah, it's not a problem. And I thought I had something else, but the process, I see we got a minister coming online with us, Minister of Health. Jennifer, it said at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? And the one with the other group is December 15th, is what time?
4 p.m.
The 4?
Yes, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. that one. Well, maybe with the minister, we might be able to find out some updates of what's going on. Well, what about the meeting we had planned with Dr. Rajley in the group, but was that on 16th? I thought it was this.
I don't know if that's, I'm not sure if that was
I
sent.
just
Is it
don't
sent
remember
yesterday?
It was supposed to have been. No?
Nothing.
I don't have it. I don't think I've got that yet. We'll check on that.
Hmm.
But it's great to have the meeting with Minister Osborne to get an update on the health accord. Because there was a lot of great recommendations in the health accord to roll out for the new structure and problems. But we got to ensure that the structure is going to work for Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital. And we know what's required, what's needed, and we know what our complements are. And I was watching some of the news even on the Janeway and their intake. And I think the numbers were, they were saying up to 160, but our Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital in that category was like 80, so just goes to show how busy our hospital is. And our emergency room department has the same equal amount of numbers as Western Memorial and Cornwall, because we cover such a broad area from Peninsula to Portobas to Burgeo. And Cornerbrook South has a larger population than Cornerbrook North. So because we're going to be growing as a community, we have to advise the minister that the planning got to start now for expansion of our hospital. And there's no doubt if we're going to attract a lot of young families, it's time to bring our maternity board back with non-oncologists, gynecologists, and so forth, and all the structures that's required there. So I think we should have our homework done and prepare what our asks are to the minister and our concerns, so that we're champions to ensure that our area and our residents receive the health care that they need.
Well, yes, absolutely. And there's a couple of things going on that he should know about if he don't know. And one of them is that the ophthalmologist, like Dr. French, Dr. Henout, Dr. Compass in this Apex building in Cornerbrook that Dr. French had built, they're really supposed to be coming out here doing cataract surgery, regardless of their new building, because the government is paying for that service, for them to come out. But it's not happening. And that's a concern. And the other thing is, I know that someone that goes into the hospital here to the ER with chest pain, there's no guarantee when that person is going to get to St. John's once he's admitted. The quickest way is to admit the person. They say that you'll get in quicker, but there is an incident of a gentleman that passed away while he was waiting for surgery. And that's not right, because you know, if they're tied up in St. John's, but they got no beds or whatever, maybe he should have been transported to Halifax.
Well, and you know,
You know.
that's a key point. And actually, my background, I actually was involved with, in my career in ARC Rescue in Halifax. We did the air ambulance flights, a lot of PEI to the Victoria General in Halifax. But there's two critical factors there for Minister Osborne that we can talk about. One is the air ambulance service. And what you just cited there is so important, that should the event that the weather in St. John's is not compatible, or it gets to the point that the aircraft can't recover back to St. John's to the Health Science Center for a critical patient, you always got Halifax as your backup. And I personally know people that were flown from Stephenville to Halifax. But having Stephenville growing, having the air ambulance in Stephenville makes all the sense in the world because of our geographical location. So where we have all the hospitals in Western Newfoundland around our airport, we're close to our airport. So Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital is touching the airport technically in Stephenville. Then you got Port aux Basques, then you got Burgeo, then you got Cornwall. So what happens is that if a plane comes from St. John's, and normally when planes tend to break down is on landing and engine startup. That's a rule of thumb. So if the plane came into Stephenville and couldn't get back to St. John's because of weather, one factor, then the plane could actually leave here and go to Halifax. It's only another 30-minute flight. It's only an hour and a half to Halifax, only an hour flight to St. John's. So we need to really push that Stephenville should have the analysis done, that the flight teams would be based in Stephenville, because if you were to go around the province, what hospital has the most medevacs? Stephenville.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for the resources to be here. And it makes sense because St. John's has so much inclement weather that in the event that somebody in critical condition can't get to St. John's, you can take them to Halifax. That has happened.
There was also a major surgery incident that had to go to Corner Brook. And the surgeon that did the surgery is the woman surgeon that's supposed to be coming here for 3 months. And I don't know what her name is, but the daughter of the person was telling me that she had quite a conversation with her. And she had said that the one thing that she really found about this area, like the western part, was the friendliness of the people. But she said she's coming here, do a locum for 3 months. And she said, but the problem is, the big problem is, there's no airplanes coming in here, no domestic service.
Well,
That's a big problem.
my hope is that with the announcement of World Energy and a $12 billion project that's actually started here now as we speak, we'll have the airline industry looking at their schedules over the winter. I'm confident that we're going to have airline service starting up in April. That's my prediction, because planning normally happens from November to January. Announcements come out usually in January for an April startup. So we have our fingers crossed that the airport authority is working on that. We're meeting with them next week. We'll get an update. But a couple of things also I want to mention is World Energy is full bore on Site 1 in the Port Court Peninsula, with their permits approved by the province for the environmental assessment.
Have they been approved, did you say?
They have a permit to do their environmental studies. People on the ground, plus also their met towers or meteorological towers for wind data collection. And the other thing is barges have arrived in Stephenville with equipment, and I believe shortly remediation of the site where the hydrogen plant is going to be built may be completed over the winter period. That's a 300-acre site that exists where the old Abitibi Price Mill was. So I want to update there. I also want to say that World Energy has reached out to our Christmas Adventure on Main Street, which is going to happen next Saturday night and has kicked in an additional $5,000 to help with the downtown. So that's a great gesture that is so important for families in our town. So we're hoping that, you know, it's becoming such a signature event that people from outside our community, some may consider coming in, doing some shopping, spending a night in Stevensville, and maybe staying at our hotel. So I think it's a bit of a staycation for a Christmas adventure. I'd also like to mention that we have Mr. Mike Ratter here tonight. And Mr. Ratter has been hired on as our Economic Development Officer, comes with a ton of experience on the international arena and platforms in the oil and gas sector. So Mike, welcome to our meeting tonight. I'm sure the community will get to know you over time. But we want to welcome you yourself and your family. And we hope you have a long-term tenure with us here at the town of Stevensville. Excuse me. I'd also want to bring up that today, thanks Colin. I sometimes forget to get my water, but anyways, I did attend the Chamber of Commerce luncheon today where the guest speaker, President Elizabeth Kidd, spoke and announced a new wind technology program for the town of Stevensville, which will start in September of 2023. So that's great news. A new program where people will be trained, go to work, raise their families in Stevensville. So anything else?
I wanted to ask you, last fall, I think we knew that the mammography machine at the hospital was down. There was no, I take it there was no one to operate the machines. Is there any update to that now? Is that department open or is it still closed?
No, it's open, yeah.
It's open?
Matter of fact, we got a brand new mammography machine,
Oh, that's,
only weeks old, even
Okay.
that. Yeah, but as for the status of the technologist, I'm not sure. I could have asked her because I was talking to her the other day, but I never thought about that then.
so they're up and running.
But, oh yes, that's no problem. As far as the donation from the hydrogen company, we also got $5,000,
Oh.
the foundation,
The foundation,
Yeah.
wonderful.
which was really, welcoming to us. Yeah. Because we didn't have the radiothon, so we lost out on a fair bit of money there, right?
And the good news too, I heard Port Accord got $5,000, but also there's a $10 million commitment that will start in April of 2023 for our 3 regions where wind farms will be built. And that's the Three Rivers area, the Robinsons, Fishers area, Port Accord and Stevensville. And the start of our funding will arrive in April of 2023 at 1.1 million over 3 years of a total of 3.3 million. Our goal is with management and staff is to leverage federal provincial funding programs in green sustainable so that we can build up the infrastructure of our town and maybe turn that 3 million into a $10 million infrastructure. And that'll be the goal. We do have meetings in Ottawa coming up in February with different departments. And we need to ensure that we get help from all levels of government as we expand our town. And the good news too at the airport is the 1.7 million commitment from ACAP, the federal program for safety and safety initiatives on airports that all airports qualify for. Contractors have started to build a $3 million LED upgrade, brand new lighting system for our airport. So that's really good news on that front too.
That's really good news, yeah, but now getting away from the airport for a minute. I hope that we got to keep in mind that we got to keep going for that medical clinic and the long-term care center.
And I think that's the conversation we'll have with Minister Austin.
Yeah.
The long-term care facility. We're poised for growth, and with that comes all of those services that we're going to require. So on that note, anything else before I call for the adjournment? Okay, I'd ask somebody to move that we adjourn the meeting. It is 7:42 PM on this wonderful, beautiful day and
Lenny?
the great province of Newfoundland. Lenny, you got something? No? Okay, you moved? Okay, you're on mute there. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Lenny Keller, second. Second, Councilor Myron White, all in favor.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. I'll let him hammer sometime.
Bang on.